Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles, and today I thought I'd start a kind of new series of videos for you guys where I can kind of tell you a little bit about what it's like living here in Japan and a little bit about my family and all those kinds of things, because I know there's some people who might not be familiar with some of that information that's from a while ago. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to share some stuff with you guys. And if there's anything that you would like me to share with you guys, or that you'd like me to answer, or any topics that you'd like me to discuss, you can feel free to leave that in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do to try to answer things for you guys. I know there are a few people out there who are fans of my daughters, Audrey and Kate, and they have their own YouTube channel, Audrey123 Talks. So I was going to try to kind of address some of the things with them as well, of course. But just sort of getting back to kind of doing some things and kind of keeping you guys updated on what's going on. So I thought for today I could just give you guys a really brief kind of introduction to my channel, which is Happy Puppy Truffles. Some people might wonder where the name came from, because I do mostly primarily video origami tutorials. So the name actually came from some truffles that I make, carob truffles that I make for dogs. When Audrey was born, at that time before she was born, we had a dog named Bear, and he, stayed with us in the house. He would snuggle with us on the bed. He was always everywhere. And after Audrey was born, we had a really hard time trying to figure out why she had such a terrible allergic reaction on her face. And it turned out that it was dog allergies and egg allergies. So we had to have the dog Bear live outside instead. And so at that time I felt kind of bad, not kind of bad, obviously very bad, because that was a big move to change things. And I know, making cookies doesn't make things better, but it makes things taste better. So I thought maybe if I made him some yummy treats, he'd be happy. So I looked into making these dog treats for him. And then I thought, well, maybe I can make this into a business. And I sold them a little bit here. I was featured in a magazine for dogs in the Kyushu area once, and sold at, a big department store for a little while. And then after a while, I kind of took a break from it, and then a little later on, we went and lived in the States for a couple of years in Virginia while I worked in DC. And during that time, after I finished working there, I tried again in the States to sell the treats too. And I sold at an art fair once, and online and things like that. But it wasn't like a massively huge popular thing, but I did create a YouTube channel with the idea thinking I could showcase the treats and stuff like that. And when we got back to Japan after living in Virginia for 2 years, we got back and we were like, okay, let's just, what are we doing? Let's just do something. What's this YouTube thing? Let's just try and see what we could do. So we created Audrey's account and my account. Mine was already there, but we used Audrey's account. We created Audrey123 Talks, and then I went ahead and used mine to do origami tutorials. And so that's sort of where that whole thing came from. And yeah, I think it from there. I mean, I first said, okay, I'm gonna do origami tutorials, and I remember telling my husband and Masa that I wanted to do origami tutorials, and everybody kind of laughed at me like, yeah, or whatever. And it was true. There were a lot of other people who did really good tutorials online. I thought the thing that was missing was that it wasn't kind of explained very well to people. It was more for people who already kind of knew how to do origami. So I thought, I do talk a lot, in case you didn't know, but so I thought maybe if I talked through some of the steps of the things that I know people have trouble with, I could make the tutorials a little from a different perspective. And it took a while, but by about almost a year passed, and one of my videos kind of got a lot of steam. It was a ghost that I made for Halloween, and so then I just kept going with that, and it just kept, I tried every day to do a tutorial, and it took a while, but finally it started to really pick up, and I had a pretty good number of people watching my channel at that time. It was really a good time too, because it was during that kind of heyday of YouTube where a lot of people were there. So I had a good audience of people, and I was, just constantly trying to find new things that I could share with people. And so many people talking to me about how I kind of helped make origami easier for them, and they were able to be successful because it's so hard sometimes to decipher the pictures. And there's certain groups of people who make the picture, the diagrams of how to do origami, and sometimes they don't do a very good job. And so I tried to kind of make that a little easier to follow. Other people do a really good job. It's very clear and easy to follow, but some of them are pretty hard. So, and I had a lot of people really excited about that. And then I heard from one artist in Japan who threatened me basically to sue me if I didn't take down all of my videos that helped explain his content. And so I had to remove all of his content. I reached out to other artists to ask if it was okay to continue sharing with them the guides to help make their products, and nobody replied. So I figured if they didn't reply, I have to stop. So I stopped all work of people other than traditional origami, and so that was a big change to the way that my channel was run. And it was a little frustrating because it wasn't like I wasn't giving that artist credit. I also advertised all his books. I tried to get everybody to know the titles, to look for them in their local countries' bookstores, but he obviously didn't like it, so I had to stop. So that kind of changed the flow of my channel a little, but I started making printables or designed projects for all the traditional origamis and my own projects, and the channel was still going really well. So I've kind of run out of ideas of things to do a little, so I'm trying to, provide different perspectives for some of my projects and thinking of some new ways to do some things with origami. I'm going to try to put together some, possibly some lessons that I'll be putting on Udemy or something similar to that, to try to show people how you can do similar things to what I've done, especially from the desktop publishing side of making your own origami patterns and how to print those up and stuff. So I'm still looking at all that as a way for my channel to go forward, but that's kind of where that is. And I did actually used to have another channel that had all of my talking about living in Japan, and that was under an ID called Stainless Penny, and I just kind of smushed them all together. I copied over everything back into this channel so that you could see all that. So some of those old videos that you're seeing are actually from that old channel, and I know sometimes those are hard to look at or they have old information, so I'm going to try to maybe go over some of the information that was in those again about what it's just like living here, the different holidays in Japan, and what we do now, which could be very different from what we were doing 5 or 10 years ago. So that's kind of where I'm thinking of going with everything. So this might be kind of a long video, but I want to give you guys a little intro, and I'll be talking about specific topics also in other days, so look for those. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!